So we have Dr. C. MuraliKrishna here, and he's the senior advisor at NITI Aayog, very closely involved with the line ministry and with the industry to plan the future of electronics in the country. Sir, uh, your audience.
Good morning, and at the outset, let me apologize for coming in late. I was stuck up in another meeting, and thank you very much for having me at this important event. And it's my privilege to share some of my thoughts. The electronics manufacturing has been the focus of government for quite some time. And if you have seen, in the last few years, the country has witnessed new energy, dynamism, and enthusiasm. And riding on a wave of initiatives like Make in India, Startup India, Digital India, and programs like Atal Innovation Mission, Smart Cities, they've all now coming and adding up, converging to create an environment and ecosystem which would help us put our best foot forward for bringing electronics manufacturing to whatever level we want to from the existing manufacturing base. And all these initiatives which government has taken in the past few years have resulted in improving our international standing. The Global Innovation Index, we are now at the 60th position. And ease of doing, we are at 100, gained 30 notches up. And the recent Moody's rating, all of them, indicate that, yes, we are going on the right track. We are all in a knowledge economy, and we all know the importance of role and the technology and innovations play. Countries which have innovated and brought in destructive technologies have gained a lot. And realizing the importance, government has put in place a major initiative called Atal Innovation Mission. All these things are being done with the net objective that, we need to move to a net zero in electronics import. That's the grand vision, and, we have to move towards that. Why innovation and entrepreneurship is to be given the kind of importance which we have given? It's for two basic reasons. Firstly, we all know that India is a very young nation. And the young population has a lot of aspirations, and the aspiration levels are very high. We need to meet them. And the second related point is that, since it's a young nation, we need to create jobs. Jobs not by hundreds or thousands, but by lakhs. These twin objectives can be achieved only when we move from the existing way of doing business and come out with new models. The classical growth will give us only arithmetic progression numbers, but we are aspiring to have geometric progression numbers here. And this can happen only when we embrace destructive technologies and destructive technology-led manufacturing and products as well as services. The Atal Innovation Mission, which the government has launched, primarily tries to address this, and it basically creates the requisite ecosystem which helps influence the society and helps the decision makers as well as the various actors to come together and create this kind of an enabling system. The major elements of the Atal Innovation Mission are the Atal Tinkering Labs, which we start at the school level, and the Incubation Centers to help spring the startups and bring them to fructification. And the third and most important one is to find solutions to our own problems through grand challenges. When India innovates for its billion-plus people, it innovates for the rest of the 7 billion people in the world, because the problems are almost similar. I mean, the top billion people, US is taking care, the driverless cars and things of that nature. But we are more interested in trying to solve the local problems related to health, related to education, related to water, sanitation, education, and things like this. And India is better poised for that because, we know the realities and, we can find solutions. We have had good success, and we have to build on this and, take the journey faster and farther. The recently concluded Global Entrepreneurship Summit has indicated the kind of energy and enthusiasm the country has, with more than 1,800 entrepreneurs from 150 countries participated. And the grand pitching competition was won by an Indian, Ajita Shah, and she was working in the area of energy, very relevant to the subcontinent. We need to build the electronics manufacturing because, electronics happens to be the heart. When you talk about the knowledge-based economy, knowledge-based society, we need to progress. Electronics plays a major role, and our intention is to see, build on our strengths, software skills and software strengths. Make in India, yes, we need to achieve, but best way to do that is through design in India, make in India for the world. So we need to concentrate. There are a lot of opportunities, a lot of areas where, niche areas where we can concentrate and make a mark, like, the artificial intelligence or virtual reality, IoTs, big data analytics, and things like that. We can bring forward our knowledge and expertise in the software field, couple them with the hardware, and come out with these kind of products and solutions which would help propel India to the next level. To achieve all these things, government has put in a lot of effort, and many programs and initiatives are in the offering. I'll just touch upon a couple of them and encourage every industry, every member here present to take advantage of these schemes and programs and do their bit. The Department of Electronics and IT has put in a series of programs, starting with modified special incentive package for electronics and semiconductors, which is popularly known as MSIPs. And as on date, there are 232 proposals which have been on the anvil and have been cleared. Originally, it was decided that the incentive cap will be kept at 10,000. The moment we reach this figure, we will stop it. But the enthusiasm has been so strong. Government has willing to relook at it and extend this particular facility till December 2018. And the figures which have been given to me is that the projected investments of these 230 odd projects is more than 50,000 crores. And in addition to this, there are 2 mega projects which total to around $6 billion plus. And one of them is in the display units, the other one is in the solar panel manufacturing. And these are in an advanced stage. And once these break the ground, I think India is now ready for the next revolution, which is in the electronics manufacturing, and take the country forward. The heart of all these things, needs to be innovation and, entrepreneurial spirit. As I said, the Atal Innovation Mission of the government, captures this spirit right across, right from school, young, talented school children, from schools to the higher education and research institutions. There are around 1,000 tinkering labs which have been set up, and there's a plan for putting up another 1,000. And these tinkering labs have already started to show the kind of quality research, quality problem solution finders we have at the school level. The main purpose of this entire experiment at the tinkering lab is to take students out of textbook, learning outside the textbook, learning through practicals, learning through projects, live projects. Each one of them is encouraged to look around and, find problems, come back, formulate the problem and try to find solutions to that. And each of these laboratories in the school is provided with 20 lakh rupees, which would help them to equip the tinkering labs. And the next level, once they all graduate and they go to their higher educational institutions pursuing their higher degrees, they need a platform to bring their ideas into forefront, bring it to the lab model, and then from the lab model to the production floor. And here again, the government has set up the incubation centers, funding the incubation centers, both existing as well as greenfield incubation centers. And these incubation centers are across all sectors. There are incubation centers in agriculture, incubation centers in biotechnology, medical, water, sanitation related areas. You name it, we are trying to proliferate the establishment of incubation centers in all these subject areas. The main purpose and focus of this is that, we need to find solutions which will solve our problems and thereby create the requisite jobs as well as the funds or the revenue for the industries, which would help them to grow much more faster and, become a global player at global player at a time when the world is looking towards India. Today we have, I think, number second or so in the count of startups. But the conversion rate of these startups into unicorns is something which we need to concentrate and take it forward. We have got the mass now, yes. Now we need to create that kind of an energy into these startups to make sure that they graduate from whatever stage they are and become unicorns. And with this endeavor, the industry leaders, experts, all have to play a major role in trying to mentor the startups, mentor the innovators, and trying to see what kind of solutions are required and, encourage them to come up with the solutions to the problems. And I see the Tectonics 2017 has got lot of technical talks which are very relevant, and most of them are concentrated on the display and display related, which is a very important manufacturing component for the country. With India going mobile first, cloud first kind of a policy, the display units do come to the center, and I'm glad that there's one major initiative which is on the anvil to bring the display unit manufacturing capability within the country. And hopefully in the next couple of months, we'll be able to close this initiative and, start the groundbreaking so that, the manufacturing of display units start to happen here. Just the way, we have started the manufacturing of mobile phones, started with small time manufacturing. Now, there are a couple of major manufacturing clusters which have been created using the facility of electronics manufacturing cluster, another scheme of the government. And we wish that, the government is able to generate the requisite interest among the industries. And the 3 information technology investment region proposals which have been cleared will provide the kind of physical infrastructure which is required, including land, water, and the connectivity to establish these mega facilities inside the investment region so that, it helps us to create the kind of right ecosystem for the manufacturing of electronics in the country. Thank you very much once again for having me here. And I'm sure that, the kind of initiatives which the government has taken will certainly bear fruits in the near future. And, we'll all hope for playing our little part to make sure that, the net dream of the nation, zero import in electronics, is achieved very shortly. Thank you very much.
So before we break for our morning tea break, just a couple of logistics relevance. The tea is being served in the patio, and the speaker lounge is in the lawn back there. For the academics, for the innovation ecosystem part of the conference, the track is going to continue post tea in the basement Casuarina Hall, and the academics and the startups for that particular session can just go down. They have a tea set up there as well. So there will be a 15-minute break, and then we'll start on it. Before we do that, they should take the laptops with them downstairs because later on there is also going to be a master class.
Even during the break, they should not leave the laptop there if there is a fear of getting laptop.
Okay. So a message from the sponsor by Rajiv is that don't leave your laptops around or you might be contributing to the economy in a different way. So, okay. And, I think we would just like to, honor our foreign dignitaries with some mementos. So, Dr. Singh, sir, this is a coffee book on India. Would you like to